Jennifer Larson. She is running for Freeholder in Essex County, New Jersey. She's going to explain what a freeholder is in a second. I do want to admit a couple of biases here. Jennifer went to Columbia, so did I. Yeah, okay, we're a little unbearable, but that's all right. And and Jennifer is married to Jonathan Larson, our managing editor. I just want to be clear about and upfront about that for you guys. Okay, now Jennifer, thanks for joining us. And what in the world is a freeholder, and why are you running for it?
Exactly. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm really delighted to be here. And I will tell you what a freeholder is. It's particular to New Jersey. It's left from the days before we signed the Declaration of Independence. And New Jersey had freeholders, those who could hold land free and clear, and they were allowed to run for office. We still have freeholders, and what that is a layer of county government that works with a county executive, and it's basically the equivalent of commissioners in other states. So freeholder is part of your county government.
I love that little history lesson. That is such a antiquated, anachronistic leftover. So I assume you're not doing it for the folks who own land and sticking up for them. So, so why did you decide to run for freeholder in particular?
So exactly what you said. We've got to do everything at local. We're also focused on the national election, and yet all the things that we encounter every day are either our local municipalities under their purview or under the county's purview. I mean, the roads, the open spaces, the sheriff's department, the budget as to how we're going to preserve the environment, what we're going to do in different initiatives that are too big for the municipalities to handle. So there's a lot there that you encounter every day, but it seems kind of invisible. It seemed to me this kind of invisible layer of government. And yet a powerful one, a very powerful one with budgetary oversight.
Yeah. So I love it because I want people to understand it's not just that it's a stepping stone that is essential for progressives to get to higher office, but the freeholders control the sheriff's budget. Well, that's how we're going to get change. Yes. So for all the news that's happening today, it's that level that needs to realize, hey, we're doing policing wrong, and we're going to have to fix it. So now, Jennifer, of course, everybody always cares about what your politics are on this show, right? And so in New Jersey, there's this unique, weird thing, or at least in the race you're in, there's different lines. So what are those lines, and which line are you in?
So I am a Democrat, and I'm running against the Democrat in the primary. And Essex County is historically not completely Democratic, but the freeholders tend to be all Democrats, and that's fine. But how does someone come in and challenge that? How do you get new ideas into this? So the Democratic Party will run together as a line, and literally a line. So if you go into the voting booth or on your voting ballot this year and you see Joe Biden and then all the way down and you say, oh, well, I'm a Democrat. I'm just going to click off these names and I don't even know who these people are at my local level. And yet the way it's set up looks like they're running as a block. So if I like Biden, I should like these people. And I'm running on the Bernie block in the line B with a lot of other progressives. Larry Hamm is one of them. He's running for Senate against Cory Booker. And there are a lot of progressives on that line. And so on the other hand, they'll say, well, these people must align with Bernie, which may or may not be true, completely true, but that's what it looks like to the voters. And so there's not really a place where they say, you are allowed to vote in this column and in this column and in this column. So there's sort of an inherent bias toward the incumbents. The advantage is the incumbents. Definitely.
Yeah, it's not a little, it's a lot. That's incumbent protection racket, the way that they set that up. And if you're not paying close attention, you might not even realize you're on the Bernie line. They might think you're a Republican. So I'm sure that you got the D, et cetera, but it makes it look like you're outside of the Democratic Party.
Yes.
I'm hoping that it ironically helps you because it makes people go, oh, these are the progressives. Because
Right.
otherwise, how do they know who's a progressive and who's not?
Right.
So, okay, now as a progressive, what would you do as a freeholder? Let's start with the sheriff's office because it's in the news so much. The culture of policing, the training of policing, et cetera. What would you do about that?
Well, as Obama said in his speech the other day, it's got to the incidents that we need fixing, the incidents that are problematic are going to be handled at the county and the local levels. And it's got to be at that community level to change things. And frankly, my team and I have looked into the budget, the county budget, and there are lots of blocks, sheriff's department, X number of $1 million, but it doesn't break it down and say, well, that represents, 17 salaries and, 14 facilities or whatever it is. It's not broken down. There are these lumps. So it's very opaque, the budget in the first place. So it's hard to tell from the outside anyway, what all the machinations are that get to those numbers. And I don't know that there's an open and transparent system. And this is the thing I'm really passionate about, which is people don't even know that they have a freeholder that represents them. They don't know what a freeholder is. Now, your representatives, if they are not engaged with you, what's going on? What is going on? And so we have to engage and ask those questions. And we have to look and say, show up at meetings and say, what does this sheriff's budget represent? And can you please break it down for me?
Yeah, I remember when I was running for Congress, that was actually one of the things I was most looking forward to if I won. It probably second after fiery speeches on the floor of the House. Second was, give me the budgets. I run a business. I know how to run. I know how budgets work, and you're not going to be able to hide anything from me. So here in LA and in California overall, we apportion a good amount of money for homelessness, and we take it out of the taxpayers' pockets, et cetera. And then it's somehow, hey, look at that. Not a lot of it reaches the homeless. And so, boy, I would love to have enough power to say, give me the budget. It's non-negotiable. I'm not asking you as members of the press, and you're going to show me 3.5 years later. No, I want it right now. And as a freeholder, you have the power to do that. I think people don't understand how important that is. So that's why I love that you're running for that office. So, by the way, before I ask you about your other positions, what's your website, Jennifer? Because obviously, I'm sure you're underfunded as opposed to the incumbent.
Yes, that's the other thing. Only the Democrats are all running as a block. Our website is larsonforfreeholder.com. That's FOR, and it's Larson with an E, just like Jonathan.
There it is. Larson
there it is. Yeah.
For freeholder.com.
Okay. Freeholder.com. Yes.
Yeah. And so look, for all progressives that run uncorrupted, donations are so important to get to just have them be competitive. Otherwise, it's so hard, especially with the way that things are stacked in that particular ballot. And I would know a thing or two about that as well. All right. So, Jennifer, what are your other priorities that if you got in there, man, you'd love to roll up your sleeves on those?
Well, there's a really big issue that a lot of people care about, and it's we have in Essex County, we have a detention facility, which we have a contract with the federal government to house ICE detainees, federal ICE detainees. And the freeholders are the ones who entered into this contract. And we bring in $40 million a year into Essex County. And that's from housing these ICE detainees. And people are opposed to it, but because it's a federal program, we don't have that much access to it. The only thing we can do is either make sure that the conditions are the best they can be, and then start to back out of the contract in a very responsible way, because you can't just, some of these people have been arrested locally and their families are local, and but some haven't. And I think that, if it were up to me, I would, I'd have a few things to say about the federal ICE program, but as a freeholder, you can't say, to the government, oh, you can't do this. You can say you can't do it here.
I mean, Jennifer, the more I talk to you, the more I want everybody in the country running for freeholder-like positions. Larson for freeholder.com. You can also see, can you folks see more of your issues there?
Yes, and on Facebook, on our Facebook page.
All right, so more issues. If you can donate, that would be great. Progressives need help, especially at the local level, and also volunteers. So Jennifer Larson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.